You don't need it. You gotta.
Is that that thing you told me the other day?
What?
I told you about.
Yeah.
Because
it hasn't been tutorialized yet, basically.
Well, no. There's a.
That's what I said.
No, there's a lore reason for why you don't have force powers at the start of the game, which is linked to the reason you're not. Well, you have a troubled history with the Jedi Order.
They took away your force powers just like Kratos.
Maybe they did.
You went to the underworld and lost all your abilities.
And then this basically leads to one of my favourite meta things in anything, because I don't like meta things most of the time, but I really like.
Tell me about Undertale, Simon.
No. Or Deadpool. I also won't tell you about Deadpool. Don't like it. Come on. Yeah. Components and chemicals.
Put some clothes on. Get some robes.
Hope you like more logs.
Oh.
Hey!
Alright, I'm just going to skip through this quickly. Listen up. Don't
He just called for Cortana.
No, Kurata.
No.
It was Kurata. Right, so
Shut up,
we will not find blasters on this thing because blasters explode asteroids. The asteroids are made of highly explosive fuel.
Oh yeah, they're in an asteroid. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Basically, this is like if you ever saw Undiscovered Country, where the Klingon moon explodes because they were mining it too hard.
Yeah.
Basically, this is what happens like 1,000 years later when they're like, let's mine the bits of that exploded planet.
Just like the Ishimura.
Hmm.
And then nothing bad ever happened.
What a lovely
Look at this
trip
nerd.
that ship had.
He's got goggles.
The goggles, they do nothing.
Sid Highwind, what are you doing here?
It does look a lot like him, actually.
I think one of my favorite bits, I think it's Dead Space 2. When you get closer to the marker, you find stuff is like stacked weirdly so that it fits. So like there's a big stack of boxes, but they're all kind of on their side and Tetris together because the marker makes you think geometrically like that.
So
And
this
it's neat background storytelling.
Cool.
this lets you know that there is in fact a way to basically avoid all of the fights on this whole level. If you can stealth. If you have the ability to use a stealth belt, you're able to just walk all the way to an override switch and turn off all the robots. Otherwise, the robots will try and kill you like they killed all of the miners.
Why are we being rewarded with no gameplay?
You don't actually have to stealth, you just kind of walk through them if you've got that item. Is that what it is?
That is stealth.
I mean, you've not got to...
Moving around undetected, that ain't stealth.
I mean, you kind of just walk through and be like, oh, I've got a stealth belt. As opposed to sneaky.
No, yeah, you activate it and then you move slow.
Okay.
Hey, it's us!
Hello.
So in the Suffering, right, one of the first things you do is you find a security camera pointed at yourself, except someone's walking up behind you.
Oh, and then you turn around and it's not there.
Oh, we're being talked to by Wibble.
Wibbly wobbly, she's not real.
Priya, what?
She's a ghost.
Reach out with your senses.
A
Feel
homeless
the
ghost.
robot.
Machines.
Ooh.
Oh, robots.
Evil
spiders.
robots.
I want to say this woman has shown up in a What Culture video at some point.
Maybe.
Her eyes are weird.
And it's
Like
like
She's blind.
the 7 biggest plot twists that ever twisted a plot. Oh man, this woman.
Yeah, I think that's where I learned about the plot twist in the first
attack.
game. I thought it was this game until Simon kind of told me.
I
Yeah,
really
Because
like.
it was my fault, really.
Ooh.
I really like that it's still using the same pew pew laser noises. I like that.
We feel
Like
the
classic.
force.
People get annoyed if they don't use those noises.
So
Everything's
basically we
iconic.
can... It's almost been a decade since we last felt the force.
Oh.
Star Wars fans get annoyed if blank. Come on now.
You can't do anything to Star Wars without annoying someone.
Except for making Jar Jar shut up.
I was just gonna say, that's the only thing people agree with is not bringing back Jar Jar.
Hey, listen to this. Gaining experience will re-establish your connection to the Force.
Video games.
Video games. So let's.
That's not as bad as Mass Effect 2, where it's like, oh, if you do bad things, your face will get more messed up. But if you do nice things, positive thoughts will let your face heal better. You will look less evil.
Like that one video game I mentioned just now.
Like, honestly, I love Mass Effect, but that is stupid.
I was also
what even do I want out of these?
I was also going to mention Infamous, because Infamous does a similar thing where, like, if you do good, you have clean blue t-shirt, and if you do bad, it's a grimy red t-shirt. But the change is very slow and subtle, so you hardly notice it by the end of the game.
Sure.
Yeah.
Come on, what build are we doing for this full playthrough, Simon?
Speed! Speed is the best power. Speed of the Puma.
Bravely run away! So what are we doing?
Well, right now we're just
Playing KOTOR.
We're just playing KOTOR. So I want to show you. Here's some survival horror Star Wars. Didn't I pick up a vibroblade?
Yeah, it's right there. It's right there.
You mean the UHF sword?
Yes.
The high frequency blade.
Have you heard the original studio take of Rules of Nature?
No.
Originally it was called Locked and Loaded. And that was how the chorus began.
Locked and loaded.
Yeah.
That works, to be
Yeah.
fair.
It works, but Rules of Nature's cooler, isn't it?
I don't know.
So all I can.
I don't know.
And then you just
The-
suplex
the
a
o-
Metal Gear Ray by the blade.
The only reason
That's
I like
ridiculous.
it being Rules of Nature is because of like a cartoon I saw of one of them memes. Brian, they got these things, and it's
Tell me about the memes.
and it's that kid George you find and Raiden's just there in a suit but with Raiden face. Going and it's like just George comes up and says something about hot for days. And it's just Rules of Nature, and he runs away and jumps out the window. And it's, all right.
Someone
party
yet
member?
lives. His thoughts are difficult to read.
His thoughts are difficult to read.
He might be a party member.
One of the main things I'm thinking about with Rules of Nature, there's a video on YouTube, it is simply called Tornado Pile Driver. And it's a bug in Mario 64. Where, you know, the big bob-omb will pick you up, spin you around and throw you? It's more like the first boss of the game.
I've never played it because I never had a childhood.
The guy streaming it glitched, and the big bomb picked him up, and then just ascended to the heavens. The entire scenery faded away, which was set to Rules of Nature.
Maybe
Back
I
to
should
his
turn
home
off
planet.
the fast motion blur.
Never! Feedback! Okay.
You're playing this game badly.
I thought feedback was going to be like an Xbox Live feature, connect to LucasArts servers, fill in a quick survey.
Alright, maybe I remembered it wrong. That you
Get
can
your
do
name
that.
on the leaderboards.
Were you
Never
touched
mind.
by this story a lot? Not a lot.
Just say we touched by George Lucas.
Come on now.
Now's the time. Here's the place to file an allegation.
Is that the sequel to Touched by an Angel?
Class action suit against George Lucas for this mess.
He was there doing his salad unboxing videos.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Got the loudest
it says
cereal.
it's from local farms, but it just says Illinois. I don't think
not
that's
local.
very local.
Uniforms while I've been in here.
Now, I prefer the low fat ranch over Paul Newman. I carry a bottle with me. Keep those eyes up and tell me who you are.
Cat and Rand.
Gungas.
Excuse me if I don't shake hands. The field
Aton Rands.
Oh, James Rans. No one
See, I
said
was
bleep
thinking
that
Blame him,
name.
now he's gonna get killed.
Bleep that name.
Someone's gonna attack
Ayn
him.
Rand, you say?
Let's see. This facility's deserted.
or after that Jedi show. Either way, it's
Oh, that Jedi. Boy, I sure hate Jedi. If there was a Jedi here now, I'd kill him.
where there's one Jedi, the Republic is going to be crawling up your eyes.
I'm that guy from the first game whose name escapes me.
Carth.
Yeah.
He's basically the new Carth. He's the pilot and everything. But he's kind of like if Carth was Han Solo. Because he's also
Yeah.
like, he's the rogue, he's a gambler.
Scumbag. Scoundrel. That's the word.
In the Game of the Thrones, the TV show, there's a point where they demonstrate how Daenerys is learning, I think it's Dothraki, she's learning something or other. And they get to the city of Quath,
Quath.
and they take her aside and it's like,
Quath.
no, it's Carth.
Yeah.
But Quath, though, it's how it is spelt.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of cool, because you very rarely hear, like, foreign language things.
Does that have anything to do with Dothraki? It's not like it's.
No.
It's not like it's named in Dothraki.
Wait, was she with?
Whatever language it is she is learning.
Carthy. Well, she's learning Dothraki, but the language in Carth is surely.
Oh yeah,
Carthy.
she was with the Dothraki at that point.
Reverend Malik
Yeah,
and
she was
Jedi.
probably trying to learn whatever their language was.
But she pronounces it wrong, and she tries to appease the people of Quath.
The
And,
language of douche.
They added it for the show.
and the guy's like, no.
I get the feeling that was a little jab at, but like people who read it said
Yeah,
it's
said it
actually
wrong.
pronounced like this.
All the golden.
I've been away. Okay,
Oh,
so
mention
here is
of
where
Revan.
this is where we get to decide what the law for last game is. Like all Sith, Revan and Malik turned on each other. What?
We just decide what the canon ending was?
Well, not what the canon ending, but what happened
Yeah, they
to
do.
set up this game.
Bioware always
So-
does this.
Yeah.
Bioware, they
Does
did
this
in Mass Effect.
game just read the save file if there is one?
No. This is before.
Oh, that wasn't a thing.
Yeah, no,
that
this
wasn't
was.
a thing.
It wasn't really a thing.
Mass Effect.
So
like,
this
had
is
that as a
this is
selling
how
point.
it does that basically. So you can just pick at this conversation what the end for the last game is. I don't know why you're finding this funny or ridiculous.
Do you know what game does read the previous game's save file and gives you one of 9 potential story routes? That would be The Suffering 2.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, yeah, but it's better to be able to pick than to be locked into whatever D did in the last game.
I suppose.
Anyway, so he says Revan and Malik turned on each other after they turned on the Jedi, which is Darkseid. So you can either say Revan defeated Malik, then went to unite the Sith against the Republic, or Revan saved the Jedi, and I don't care.
So you don't care.
So I don't
No,
care, presumably
'cause-
randomizes it, or...
I don't know, I never picked it.
Okay.
And then he says, oh, I guess Revan paid Malik back for trying to kill her. You know women.
Oh.
And you can say, how long have you been in there? Revan was a man. Or, agree, Revan was a woman.
Oh, okay. You can
So
say
you can pick that as well.
Revan's a man, right? In canon.
Yeah, in canon, the ending is light side male. The canon ending for this game is light side female.
Yeah.
Contrary to what Pat thinks.
Yeah, he said dark side.
Yeah.
He said dark side female for the first game,
Yeah, no, he's wrong.
but then he went back on it.
Because basically there is
It's not correct.
there's a reason why Atten is saying all these incorrect things about Revan. This discussion about Revan is pointless.
Enough talk, says Moores.
Hey, wait a minute.
Ah, now he realizes we're the Jedi. Do you know what happened? Toxic gas. Everyone's gone. Let me out. Tell me your plan.
Success.
Which means we may. You shut down the cell.
I kind of like Fallout's method of doing that.
I'll cut you down without a second.
It's just like that, isn't it?
Kind of the newer Fallout games say things like, persuade, 77%
Oh, it
chance
gives-
of success.
Yeah, he gives you a chance.
And this, it's
Gives you a
literally just,
percentage.
do you have a persuade skill high enough?
Yeah.
It's not a percentage roll.
That's how it was in at least Fallout 3. I forget how 1, 2, and all them others done it.
I haven't played through.
But yeah, New Vegas and I believe 4 do it where it says like, you've 77% chance that this is going to work. And you can suss it up from there whether you want to.
I'm surprised 4 did that with its lack of dialogue options.
So
Anyway, that now is not
something
the
I
time.
just skipped past was you get extra dialogue options depending on your skills. So I have skill in repair, so I'm able to, when he says, oh, this thing has gone wrong with the console, you're able to use your knowledge of repair to say, this means this, that, and that. Like something isn't standard procedure. So I like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it also means that the most useful skill is awareness, because it's basically is your supernatural perception of stuff, so you can get really good deals on shops.
Be my guest. How much else we can
This is my favourite shop on the Evan Hall.
Da, da, da.
Dun dun dun.
Found anything?
Go away! So at any time I could just run back to Kreia and be like, I met a nerd. He's a huge nerd.
Look at that
Alright.
switch at the bottom right. See that Nintendo Switch? I see it.
So there's
I
even even more logs.
Tracked at the freighter in. Not much on board. One damaged
An
drone.
annoying protocol
Is
droid.
it the C-3PO?
Sure.
There's a bit in one of the Lego Star Wars games where it's like, R2, get out of that X-Wing, what are you doing up there? Obviously Beats his reply, danger is not your middle name, your middle name is a hyphen!
Pretty good.
T3 is voice activated.
Guess he was voice acted then.
Hopefully we can get him off this station.
Beep.
Know the North.
Beep whistle.
Yeah, I think you say his
Whistle,
voice
beep.
actor is
Word of the Jedi.
Steve Bloom, because isn't it
Sure.
bloody always? Oh man, if
This Ebon Hawk used to be a smuggling vessel.
Accidents. 2 minders. What's fair quotes?
once upon a time when I was doing politics in
What?
college,
Look, I just
What?
talked into this, and there's the bleep bloops. Robot.
dee-woo deep beep, amazing!
In the PC version, almost all of his lines don't work,
Okay.
so it just immediately skips to your next line, which is really jarring.
That's terrible. Yeah.
Huh.
Doreep, beweep.
Seems like it
What was I
probably should have
talking
been
about?
fixed.
I don't remember. Anyway.
The suffering.
Probably
Anyway, every time.
one of my favourite video games.
One of my favourite songs off that album.
Yeah, mine too.
Okay, so playing this for a little bit. That's just here's the beginning of one of my favourite games.
Hooray!
Maybe
You
we'll
like
play
this-
this again sometime.
Do you like this more than the first one? I forget.
I like most of it better than the first one, but the first one has the advantage of being a complete game,
Yeah, this is
whereas
not
this
finished.
one just ends.
It's just
Oh, I hate when that happens. Almost like when that happens with videos.